During the ceremony, Howard showed nothing but love to the city of Orlando and the franchise itself.
Between having multiple transfers coming in and just the underclassmen that are developing throughout the offseason, the Florida Gators wide receiver room is going to be looking pretty different next season.
Once they get to the play-in tournament, there's 3 teams they could play. The Hawks, who they beat yesterday, the Heat, or the Bulls. So the NBA's playoff picture isn't set just yet, but the Magic do have that 7 seed.
He led the team with 22 points and also knocked down 4 3-pointers and dished out a few assists.
Love says this isn't just about the trophy. It's about bringing a culture shift to RCR racing.
He's just the type of player that makes everybody better. We've seen that throughout her college career. She was UConn's leading scorer last year, but she was also top 3 in every other major stat, both offensively and defensively.
Senate Bill 172, also known as the Georgia Sports Betting Integrity Act, was introduced by Senator Bill Cowsert and was passed 8-4 by a Georgia Senate committee, but it still has to be approved by 2/3 of the House and Senate.
You don't figure out a pathway to put guardrails and parameters around it, you're not going to stop people from doing it. The late Dr. Martin Luther King talked about this in one of his commencement speeches, and he said, you cannot legislate morality. You can only legislate behavior. And it's my intent, by legalizing sports betting, we can put the parameters around legalizing the framework in which we hope people will govern themselves.
The bill would form a sports betting commission that's responsible for giving licenses to prospective sports betting operations. Some platforms that would be legalized include online and mobile sports betting through platforms like DraftKings and FanDuel. State Representative Ron Stevens says he's blown away by how much electronic sports betting has grown.
These things weren't even invented then, so the only thing that you had was a paper. The question's even bigger than sports betting. It's about electronic gaming, which encompasses a whole lot of things.
In 2019, the presidents of the Atlanta Hawks, Braves, Falcons, and United formed the Georgia Professional Integrity Alliance. These organizations aren't just pushing for betting to be legalized, they want it to be allowed in their own stadiums through kiosks. And if the bill did get approved, it'd still have to be passed by a statewide referendum. Reporting in Savannah, Tyler Carmona, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Between having multiple transfers coming in and just the underclassmen that are developing throughout the offseason, the Florida Gators wide receiver room is going to be looking pretty different next season. The big name coming in is Eric Singleton Jr., the transfer from Auburn, who had originally put his name in the NFL draft before deciding to hit the portal. And he'll be reuniting with Buster Faulkner, who's Florida's new offensive coordinator, who was actually his coach at Georgia Tech when he was runner-up for ACC Rookie of the Year and was a true freshman All-American. He's got the traits of an ideal Z receiver. He's elusive after the catch, crisp route runner, comfortable running a wide route tree, and he's not the biggest guy at 5'10", 185, but he doesn't really seem to have a problem catching passes in traffic. Then it was obviously big news to have Vernell Brown and Dallas Wilson back. Both of these guys, as true freshmen, impressed in their own right last year. Brown, a former 5-star, led the team with 40 catches, 512 yards, while running Billy Napier's offense, which I feel really limited him. And Buster Faulkner's shown that if his quarterbacks are capable of it, he'll have a more air raid, downfield-oriented approach. I think Brown will fit in well with that, whether it's attacking the seams from the slot or when they line up in empty, maybe getting some jet sweeps and bubble screens, but he's also a pretty good route runner, so he might be able to run some more complicated concepts. Wilson, of course, struggled through injuries last year, but just in that Texas game alone, we saw 6 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And at just 18, 19 years old, seeing how physically dominant he was, whether it was breaking tackles or catching passes with the guy draped all over him. He'll have the chance to build on his natural tools while also being able to get healthy and refine his game in other ways. I think he'll be Florida's X receiver next year and get a lot of single side looks. Watching film on Faulkner, I see him run a lot of bunch formation and trips, so that could open up some one-on-one looks downfield, at least until defenses start respecting it.
Before flag football made the Olympics, before it had sponsors, or even rules people agreed on, there was Sandra Romero, also known as Peyton.
Es un gusto el que pues yo sea inspiración, ¿no? Y eso es lo que más me importa ahora, el seguir compartiendo pues, todo lo que he aprendido.
She didn't come from a football family or even grow up playing the sport. She told me she saw a flyer at her university and just decided to try out.
Los coaches, los jugadores, ellos empezaron a invitar y ellos eran los que nos entrenaban.
And now she's won 11 World Cups and is still active 4 decades into her career. And she got a pretty cool nickname in the process.
Jugarlo, porque es un deporte muy bonito el flag. Y pues nunca tengan miedo ante nada. Creo que los sueños se cumplen y uno pone los límites, ¿no? Entonces, que siempre luchen. Creo que el flag nos enseña a tener carácter. Creo que